how great was it, Micah, to have Finchie out here? I mean, Under night yesterday and out here today. I tell you, he's a trooper and he's a warrior. But it's always good. Obviously, anytime you have your leader in the building, are able to conduct practices, conduct film rooms, conduct meetings. And the more that we can stay in the norm, out closer to, just the rhythm that we've had all year is great.
Hey, Micah, there's so much familiarity between these guys. Plenty of guys work here, work there, vice versa. Division rivals, you play each other a lot. How does that play into this series here?
I think if anything, you kind of know a little bit of the intricacies, but you kind of know what Coach Malone, obviously having worked with him, myself at Fidget being on his staff, kind of know what he likes more end of game, kind of as the game's going on, what he's thinking. Even to the point, I'm sure they're the same way, but you could tell if you watch our bench, probably stand up knowing that a timeout is coming. It's just more of the intricacies there. As far as the players go and all that type of thing, I don't know how much advantage you have there, and as we've played these guys so much, so it's probably the same thing. But I would just say more from the coaching staff, and again, just as much as we know about Coach Malone, obviously Ryan Saunders knows these players very well, knows these our staff members work with Pablo and Kevin Hansen, all that type of thing. So I think more on the coaching side, you might think that what guys are adjustments they may make not only in game, but from game 1 and 2.
Seems like a discipline and maturity have been like where this team greatest leaps have been this year. Denver obviously takes advantage of any laps. This is a good benchmark to see.
Yeah, great call, because we had some video today even from the sense of every time that you complain about a call or you get the lag time there, Nikola is probably the best in the league as far as getting the ball out, even after makes. That only being said, I think, and there's been video footage that we've shown where the guy, the ball boy or whoever, is out sweeping up the court and they're taking it out, getting up the floor. So just a matter of fact, there can be no lag time. And the attention to detail, we did a great job with it in Phoenix, I thought, but even more so this series with how they take advantage of it. And even dropping the ball and rolling it, there's little things that, be alert, be high alert, pick up a little bit more for the court so they can't take away those precious few seconds. And that's kind of the
in the Sun series, it fit a little bit better to do 4 wing
and 1 big. And you guys often leaned into that.
In this series, it's more of the 2 bigs look, right?
Yeah.
And you kind of, seems like been cultivating the ability to do both of those things all season. What's gone into that process of making that happen?
Yeah, I think a couple things is from the defensive side of it, I think what's really helped us a lot is the fact that just like when we got Rudy, I think we found out that Rudy can guard smalls much better than what a lot of people thought, including us. And so now you feel a lot more comfortable with Rudy out there essentially guarding anyone. And then more so with the 2 bigs, it's okay, well, if Rudy's guarding that guy that may be a smaller side, now where do we put Cat? And I think that you saw last series, just the trust in Cat and the job that he did on Durant, able to put him there, which really nullified some of the stuff that Beal was able to do because we could move Ant to him. So on the defensive side, that's where it's been good, and we've mixed in a little bit more zone. But then, and then offensively, we're just so, lucky to have both Nas and Cat because essentially they're smalls. And the way they shoot the basketball, when I say smalls, and what that does is the fact that they're both almost 40% from 3, the gravity that they pull, guys, you can't sag off or not defend them. So I think that's where we've been able to play both bigs, even when teams are small and at both ends.
He's kind of owning the national spotlight right now. Why do you think that has happened? Why do you think people gravitated to it so much? And how do you think you can kind of handle that disco? But then,
yeah, I think that the people gravitate to him because he's a likable dude. Everything you see, I think that they like the way he plays the game. He plays hard. He's obviously very athletic. He's a very dynamic player. Get downhill, so all those things, and the fact that second-time All-Star. But I think the way that he has accepted it for a 22-year-old, you don't like the term old soul, but it just seems like, he's been through a lot in his life. He's been around a lot of, some situations. He's grown up quickly. And I think that he's been able to handle that. And he's just the way his personality is, he's a very self-deflecting, he's his soul, he's a guy, humble guy too. It's funny how he is, but and he just he doesn't change. He is who he is. And I think any time that you're not putting on a front or you're not fake, you don't have to change who you are, whether you're in front of the media or you're out there doing commercials or playing the game. Anthony Edwards is who he is. He knows who he is, and I think that's why he was able to accept and handle this so well.
Is it kind of a weird combination to have somebody who definitely thinks they're the best at anything, but also does have a humble code?
Yeah, because I don't know. I've been around some very good ones, obviously, throughout the years, and but the way that he accepts it and knows it is, and the way he swagger with it all and everything, but the fact that he still doesn't push people away, and there's obviously a big difference. Everybody talks about between confidence and arrogance, and he's just a very, very confident person, and he puts in the work, and he trusts his abilities, and that's plenty.
Tim told us that it's when not if a smart front office realized Micah Nori needs to be a head coach. When you hear that, just a big smile on your face.
Well, I think Tim's probably the smartest person. He's saying it. No, that's just, I appreciate that. Obviously, it does put a smile on your face. But at the end of the day, and I mean this in all sincerity, and I'm not trying to downplay it, but I mean, I've been very, very lucky to be in this league for 26 years and never have to look for a job. In all honesty, I've been able to go and to be around this. The one main difference would be, can you run your own program? Can you call your own timeouts, draw build plays that, you actually the end-all, be-all as far as with the coaching decisions. That's where the difference lies. But I appreciate that. It was very nice of Tim to do. But I will say that the work, I've slept because I'm worried about Denver. I lose sleep because I think it's awful what happened to Finchie, because here's a guy that's worked his butt off to it. We're in the second round together, his first time as a head coach. And for him not to be able to do it full force is what you just don't want to let him down. Let's go support type of thing.
Micah, when it comes to how hard is it to get a step ahead of them? When they come in, thinking about defensive matchup, which leagues to do, or is it just a matter of trying to keep up? How do you tend to that?
I think Nikola's. We've all seen him, the way he plays the game. The game moves in slow motion for him, and I think the one thing that Nikola does is he always makes the right play. And so, just in order to stay a step ahead of someone like that, and this is going to sound silly, but I would never say it's easier, but you know what he's going to do. And what I mean by that is if you double, he's going to pass it. If you let him, not let him score, but if you say, hey, we're going to play you straight up and force you to score, then he's going to do that. So he will take whatever you give him, and then you just have to decide how you want to, not how you want to lose, but how you want to beat them. We want to beat them by making other people make the shots, or by Nikola taking, that happened the last time we played them. Hey, we'll let Nikola score, though. Well, he went 16 for 20 and he scored 41, and he lose the game anyways. But back to your question, he's as good as there is in the game. Everything's very, very slow. But the one thing he always does is he makes the right play. So what I'm saying, that is, you know what he's going to do. If we do this to him, this is exactly what he's going to do. And that gives you a little bit of advantage, because sometimes you might get somebody like, well, I don't know what the heck he's going to do. God bless Ant. Ant's one of those guys. Okay, well, you double it. You shoot. He might make the right play. He just might run around it. He might, so that's more difficult in my mind than trying to get ready for somebody like that than Nikola, where you say, look, we double off the passer, he's going to throw it right back out, and we just got to be ready to rotate. If we double from underneath, he's going to look to the corner skip. So you kind of know what he's going to do. It's just, problem is, a lot of times he does it better than how you can want it.
You probably look at Jamal's stat lines of how Denver won the game a lot of times. What about him is most difficult to contain? Because obviously it's like, hey, eliminating him is how you win the series, but how do you go about doing that?
Yes, and you've obviously done your research, but like you said, I think in wins he's 46 from 3, and losses he's 31, and their losses he's 16 points, and their wins he's 23, so obviously he drives winning, and even when he's not having a good shooting night, the one thing I do know about Paul Murray is down the stretch of games, that in those clutch moments, you see him against the Lakers, who makes 2-game winners, and really wasn't shooting it great before the game. So what we have to do with him, he's very good at rejecting pick and rolls and taking advantage of him there, so we got to make sure we keep him going one way. We got to make sure we pick him up and make him work. We can't just let him walk the ball up the floor. Again, they haven't been playing a whole lot of their bench, so we can wear those guys down, and then maybe those 16-foot jumpers that he's shooting at the end of the game, he doesn't have legs, they come up a little bit short. So make sure that we make him work, continue to throw different bodies at him, whether that's Nikola, whether that is Jaden, and whether that is Ant. But the one thing we just got to make sure is be physical with him, make him feel this like they always talk about saying, and just nothing easy for him.
He did a great job last year. You could tell at the end of the game that he was exhausted. So he benches throw multiple bodies. I think of an advantage is that field, two guys sharing that water.
It's huge. And I think, like you say, the Jaden and Ant, and you throw Nikola. We saw him do it against Shea in the play-in game against Oklahoma City. You saw him with all the deflections. I think he was leading the NBA in deflections in the playoffs against Phoenix. So when you have those three guys on the perimeter, essentially it's just wave after wave. What that does is it wears down Jamal, but it also lets those guys rest a little bit. There's nothing better than being able to get Ant off of him so that, Ant has his legs a little bit better. You have no worries if Jaden needs a break. to take him out, put Nikola in, let Nikola guard. And then the other thing is I even think you could put Kyle Anderson on. Kyle Anderson's a guy with long arms, knows how to play. So by having all those different options, that's the main thing as you look at this series compared to last year. We didn't have Jaden,
Kyle, we didn't have the last game, and but so I think that's some of the big differences that you'll see this year.